Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Layo from Layo's Academy. I hope you all had a pleasant weekend and I hope you're prepared for the new week ahead. Today, I felt led to talk about something, a topic, how Big Four IT audits work is structured. And the reason why I'm talking about it, a lot of people new beginners that want to transition into IT audit or career switchers, they are not aware, like there are companies like the Big Four, or some people are aware that there's something called Big Four, and they hear the names, and they feel like, oh, it's a big organization, it's going to be hard. I don't know how I'm going to fit in into that kind of organization, or I don't think I'll be able to get a job in that kind of organization. I want to share how the IT audit work is structured based on my experience. I used to work in one of the Big Four, and I think I was also scared when I got the job offer back then, and I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? Like, it's big. But I was able to navigate my way, and I had a very wonderful time. I learned a lot of things while I was at one of the Big Four. Okay. So today I'm going to talking what does Big Four even mean? Some people don't even know what Big Four mean. Maybe they've not even heard about Big Four, how engagements work, like how the work is structured. And that was one of the questions I was asked during my previous training, like, oh, when we even start work, how is it that they are going to be giving us a number of tasks to do? Is it that we have to complete 10 tasks in a day or something? And I'm going to talk about how the tasks are assigned and what entry level IT auditors would do in Big Four. So when you hear people talk about the Big Four, especially in audit and accounting spaces, they are actually referring to the four largest professional service firms in the world, four largest global audit and advisory firms that support organizations with audit, tax, and consulting services. And who are these Big Four? PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, EY, KPMG, and Deloitte. Okay. So when we say Big Four, we're talking about very large structured like organizations that they are working with many public companies, global businesses, and they are usually responsible for supporting their external audits, including like the IT side of financial reporting. Okay, they are usually involved in like, testing organizations, general controls, IT general controls. They support financial reporting under regulations like SOX. So like those are the kind of things. They provide audit, tax, advisory service. They work with large organizations also. Okay. So how what is an engagement? So what happens is when you join the Big Four, they would usually give you an engagement to work with. They call it engagement, right? So you'll be assigned to an engagement, and it is organized. An engagement means you are assigned to a client. It works around clients. Everything is organized around different clients' engagement. You are placed on specific clients for a defined period of time, and they're going to give you the goals, like, oh, this is the scope of the audit, this is what we are going to do. You're going to be part of the team, and your work will definitely be connected to a larger, maybe a bigger audit objective. Okay, you understanding the structure would help beginners realize that IT audit is actually a process driven role, like it's process driven, and it's not just you having the theoretical knowledge. Okay, so you're going to be assigned to a client, and then they're going to tell you the duration. Maybe you're going to be on this client for 6 months, for 1 year, or for 2 quarters, or thereabouts. So that's what it means. When we are saying the engagement is you are assigned to a client for a specific period of time, and it will depend on, like, sometimes they are large clients, big organizations. Okay, some it might be just a small business organization, but some like all these big names. For example, if PwC is the external auditor for, let's say, Coca-Cola, you as a staff of PwC, they might put you on an engagement that is Coca-Cola, or maybe Amazon, or maybe T-Mobile or Verizon. Okay, so that's what happened. And then you're going to be working as part of a team. You're going to have a defined role in that team. Okay, so as a beginner, it could be like you're just supporting just a very small part of the audit. Might be like you'll be assigned controls, you'll be reviewing evidence and thereabout, okay. And then the larger team, the managers and others will be the one doing the main. Maybe they would have started the planning, budgeting, and all that. But you will be working as part of a meeting, and most times the audit engagement would usually consist of maybe a senior manager, a senior associate, an associate, and then interns. Okay, so that is that. So how are the engagements planned before any testing? Before you that you are doing just control testing, before it gets to you, they would have been planning meetings. It will go through a planning phase, and that's where they will talk about the client's business, the system they use, the areas that are in scope. They will do the scoping. Okay, is it all your applications that are in scope? Okay, basically the planning will help define what scope of work they will be doing. Is it just the IT general controls they are testing for the organization? Is it iTax? How many applications? Is it 50 applications and thereabouts? Going to talk about that, the reason why they are testing, like what are the risks that the audit is going to be focused on. And this step is very important because, as we all know, IT audit is risk based. So you're not going to be testing everything, but you are testing what would matter most, probably to financial reporting and the business operations. Okay, so it's at the planning that they will get the direction to the work that flows. Okay, and then you understand the client environment to identify the systems in scope. Now, how are the tasks assigned? Most of the time in Big Four, um, IT audits, like there's going to be a structure. It may be that you may be assigned just access controls or access management. There was a time I was on a client. There was a time I was working with a client, and all I was doing for them was access management. Like we were doing just access management testing for that, and I was on that client for a very long time. Okay, it might be change management that you are doing for the client, it might be just the IT operation, but you're going to be assigned, that to a client, and you'll be told what to do. You would have seniors directing you, assigning tasks to you and telling you what exactly to do. Like they would provide, okay, you're testing 50 controls, you're testing 20 controls. Okay, so some of the examples of things, like I said, as entry level, your work is going to be like hands-on, like you'll be the one doing the basic job, like doing the testing of the controls exactly, doing your work papers, documentations, everything I taught you, like in my book, like you would actually be doing all those things. I remember when I joined Big Four as an experienced associate, and then I was in this team whereby I had the manager, I was an experienced associate, and I think there was one other person. It was actually access management testing. We were doing access testing for the team, okay? And then guess what? I was doing all the dirty work, but I had a very good manager. It was hands-on. So even though I was new, it was showing me like everything, how to do all the files and everything. And guess what? The manager resigned, and the director on the team came and said, "Oh." So when the manager was leaving, he kept telling them that go and meet Olasimo, go and meet Olasimo. Like she's the one that, like, she knows everything. She knows everything about the client and everything. And guess what? I took over that engagement, and I ran that engagement for like 2 or 3 more quarters with no manager. Like it was just me. Okay, and I had a very positive feedback from the client. Like, so the fact that the manager that was on the engagement left, I as an experienced associate, I took over the engagement and I was able to complete it. Okay, so most of the time at entry level, like you're just doing testing. Okay, you're the one doing all the evidence, getting all the dirty work. I'll call it dirty work, but it's not dirty work. It's and that is how you're going to begin to build real audit. Those are the places where I learned, like everything, like most of the things, like I learned because I was hands on deep into these testings. Like I was the one doing all this, and it was not just theoretical for me, like reviewing evidence, the documentation, and all that. Okay. How you work with evidence? How do you work with evidence? As we all know, IT audit, no evidence, control field. Okay. So IT audit is evidence driven. Okay. You start requesting for report, documentation, you're liaising with the clients. Like sometimes they have shared files where they drop them. Sometimes they have tools where you have to go in and get your evidence. You are reviewing approvals, and all of that, tracing the evidences across the client systems. Okay, and this is one of the things that will teach you how to follow an evidence trail and not just collect evidence as face value. At Big Four, like you will be assigned to tasks like that as an entry level. You'll be the one gathering evidence and all that. No manager will do that, or senior manager. Okay, so how wages are raised as an IT auditor in Big Four, one of the things that will help you, and this is something I feel like if I'd known earlier, it would have helped me better at Big Four. Okay. When you have a question, don't wait till the end of the audit before you start asking the questions. If something does not look right to you, don't ignore it. Immediately start escalating, like asking questions, raise the questions early, okay? To your senior, there'll be a senior associate there, there'll be someone in charge of you. Raise the questions early, escalate, okay? And this is part of learning on how to think in terms of risk and control. It's not that when they say, oh, the audit is ending and so that's when you announce, oh, a month ago when I was testing, I saw this. Okay, make sure any findings you have, don't just keep it to yourself. Bring it out, let your senior know, let your manager know, discuss it with the team. Okay, and then they will be able to help you resolve, and that's part of your learning, and it's going to build your confidence also in communicating concerns and understanding, escalate thinking, risk and control. Okay, then what you learn over time. If you get into Big Four, like it's a very good place to start from, because you are going to be moving from different engagements and clients. You work with financial institutions, telecommunication companies, software as a service providers. Like you're going to begin to recognize patterns, and then you'll be able to work with different systems, because each organizations, they have different systems, they have different applications. Okay, you're going to see different control environment. You begin to see like different weaknesses as they appear in this environment, and then that's how your confidence will grow over time. Once you work with this engagement, you go to another engagement and thereabout. So that is how you would learn over time, because you're going to see patterns different, but what you experience with engagement A is not what you're going to experience with engagement B. Okay, the kind of applications engagements A has might be different, so you're learning different applications. Okay, now I'm going to talk about what matters most in Big Four IT audit. At entry level, what matters most is not being perfect or knowing everything, but pay attention, be willing to learn. Honestly, when I joined Big Four, I did not know everything. But before I left Big Four, I knew more than like a lot. Okay. Make sure you are teachable, make sure you can follow structure, make sure you can, be detail oriented. Okay, and that's how you will grow. When I was at Big Four, promotion would usually be 2 years or 2.5 years. I got my promotion to senior in within like a year and a half, which was very unusual. But the only reason was because I was able to, grab things quickly and move. Okay. So structured and be open to feedback. In Big Four, they will give you feedback. Oh, hey, feedback. Be open minded. Your manager will give you feedback. Your relationship managers will give you feedback. Feedback is a feedback system. They will give you feedback. Oh, so be ready to take feedback and improve on whatever feedbacks you get. Okay, be confident. Learn how to be confident. And I think if when I started, I had so much. I was able to be more confident. Maybe it would have helped my journey a lot more. Grow confident, be confident. In Big Four is if you can talk, that's where you move. If you cannot talk, Big Four is not for you. You should be bold. I think for me, in the earlier part of my careers, I was, just a hands-on person, doing the work, and not really talking and showing up the way I was supposed to show. So like being confident, be able to go to meetings, talk is going to help you very much. Okay. Um, and then another thing I want to say is that one of the things that would help you is to be able to follow structure. Okay, and that is why you need to know whatever you're doing and have a structured learning environment. And that is one of the reasons why I created Layo's academy? Why do you need structured learning? Like, because there's a structure when it gets to Big Four. I was talking to someone last week. She just got a job, and I was telling her how she would present herself. The information was very helpful to her. I was telling her this is how you respond to your emails. You just don't respond anyhow. This is how you do this. And as little as things, Big Four is a structured place. When you are doing meetings, there's a way you take your meeting notes. You have to put down your meeting notes, okay? So the work is structured. It's not just anyhow. I've worked in other organizations and I was like, oh my, these people, you people don't have structure, yeah. But Big Four structured, like very structured. Okay. And so if you are learning in the structured, you that you are transitioning or you're trying to start a new job or whatever, like you should be able to learn in a structured environment. Okay. Your clarity is going to come from like the process you are learning. Okay. So I recently concluded a powerful 5-day IT audit fundamentals training, and it was encouraging to see beginners gain clarity and confidence through hands on practice. If you are exploring IT audit and want a structured, beginner friendly way to learn the fundamentals, the next course will be opening soon. You can find the link in my bio when you're ready to take that next step. Also, my IT audit fundamentals book, the link is in my bio. I wrote it in a very structured way because, like I said, I worked in the Big Four. Like I have this, and one of the things that working in the Big Four did for me is like it opened so much doors for me. Like till today, that I am not even looking for a job. Recruiters will keep reaching out. So having Big Four on your resume is awesome. Please, if you are applying for a new job, apply to Big Fours. The good thing is they're always hiring, like they would always hire. They always need people because what they are working with a lot of organizations. So they would always need people. Okay, they would always need people. So please, please, please don't be scared of the big names. Apply to these organizations, and having the experience there is going to wow you, like it's going to help you, and then you can transition out later. Okay, so please, if you have not gotten a copy of my IT audit roadmap and IT audit fundamentals, it is detailed. It's going to help you gain the clarity you need. And if you'd like to join my next 5-day IT audit training, please send me a message or click the link in my bio. My name is Layo, the founder of Liars Academy. I wish you all a blessed week. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and have a very good day. Thank you. Bye bye.